Here with me now is Lara Trump, host of My View with Lara Trump. All right, Lara, Jake Tapper's been in CYA mode while on this book tour for, it seems like, an eternity. And part of it has something to do with you. Now, I want to remind everyone how he treated you back in, like, 5 years ago when you brought up what you saw, which was Biden's cognitive decline. Yep. Let's watch.
What we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline. Okay. That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable
you have
to
no
watch somebody on stage
It's so amazing. It's so amazing to me
and try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think
stuttering,
that you were mocking his stutter.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline.
And now, 5 years later, he has his tail between his legs.
She was right, and I was wrong. I did not see in the moments he was having, I did not see that as cognitive decline. She did. Our reporting suggests that she was correct. So I feel humility. I've apologized to her.
Lara, when did that apology come? And if you don't mind sharing with us, what did he say?
Yeah, Jake Tapper called me about 2 months ago, actually. And he said, I have this book coming out, and I know everybody's saying that I should apologize to you. I plan, whenever the book comes out, to go on TV, and I will say, you were right, and I was wrong. And I guess to Jake's credit, he did that. Now, Laura, I think the overarching thing here, though, is that the damage is done, right? We were so close to something so dangerous happening to this country. I mean, look at what actually happened. Look at the millions of illegal immigrants able to pour in. People are questioning now, who was actually in charge of this country. I guess whoever was in charge of the auto pen. We really have to think about what would have happened if Joe Biden would have been elected. These people would have swept his condition under the rug even more. And Jake Tapper saying that this is like a Watergate level type of situation. Now that he played a role in it, it feels a little bit too late to me. I do appreciate that he did keep his word, though, and come out and say that I was right.
Did he actually call you, or was the on-air dramatic apology, was that it?
No, he called me and said that he was going to do this. So then.
Okay, but he didn't actually apologize to you in a subsequent phone call. He said he was going, it's like so convoluted.
Yeah,
he said it's kind of
like that.
odd.
And then, yeah, as people were kind of ribbing him more, he said, I told you whenever the book comes out, I guess it was May 20th,
yeah,
I would come out and say it. So,
but I have to say, I agree with Victor Davis Hanson's point on this, that, forgiveness is a Christian thing to do. Obviously, forgive people who've wronged you, and that's fine. And it's nice when people apologize.
Yeah.
But it's a little convenient. It's a little convenient timing. And had that debate gone a little bit differently,
right,
just a little bit, would any of this be written about, any of this discussed, ever?
Well, that's the scary part, I think, to all of us, right? And Jake Tapper can't discount his role in that. No matter how much he wants to come out now and say, you know what, we're going to start calling the shots like we see him actually now. It's too late. And look, you look at the ratings for all of these legacy media outlets. People are not tuning in because they have lost the American people's trust. You can't do this time and time again to people and continue to lie to people in the way they did and think that you're going to get any different result. It's the reason Donald Trump is in the White House right now. People like authenticity. They like people telling them the truth, even when those are hard truths, Laura. That's who Donald Trump is. That's what he's done, and that's why he's in the White House.
And what did Donald Trump say? He called them fake news.
Yeah.
They hate him because he called them what most Americans now believe about the old legacy. Not everybody, but there's some people who work better than others and try harder. But overall, the hatred and loathing toward your family and to Donald Trump for the last 10 years has been astounding, and they wanted him in jail.
Yeah.
And he was almost killed twice during this fury that they helped build up. We should discuss that as well, because this hatred toward Trump also brought the violence in.
It did. And I think this is what happens when you start exposing people, right? People will fight for themselves, and they will fight to hold on to power. They will fight to hold on to the old way of things. And whether it's the exposing the legacy media for all the things that they've done that we are now, a lot of people are aware of, finally for the first time, thanks to President Trump, whether it's exposing the general rot in Washington, D.C., something that really had never been addressed before. Donald Trump did all that. And yes, these people were willing to do anything, as disgusting and despicable and un-American as it is. that was the path they were willing to take. And I'm just so grateful to the American people. They saw better of things and they understood better, and they voted President Trump back in for a second term.
Now, Scott Pelley did attempt to say in this graduation speech, before he went on to the diatribe, that he did respect people's opinions. I think we have the soundbite. Let's watch.
As a reporter, I've learned to respect opinions. Reasonable people differ about the life of our country. And America works well when we listen to those that we disagree with. One thing we can all agree on, one thing at least, America is at her best when everyone is included.
I don't even know what that means. So, first of all, he wasn't thrilled with any conservative being at CBS. I can tell you that right now, and nor was most people there. But do you buy that? I mean, is that just window dressing to cover what he's about to say about, obviously, implicitly about Trump?
No, of course no one buys that. I mean, this felt like a big moment for him. Like, someone gave him a podium and a microphone, and since he hasn't been very relevant, he was going to seize this moment. I think it's so sad, though, because as you pointed out in your open, you know, you go to these events. This is much like the bishop, remember who we sat in front of in the National Cathedral the day after the inauguration, and just tried to berate us and make us, you know, just, it was horrible. A moment that could have been so positive and should be positive and you know, unifying. She took it in that direction, much like Scott Pelley did here. These kids have worked so hard. They had to hear that dribble. It's terrible.
But there was no applause. I didn't hear any applause. I mean, I didn't watch, you know, every second of it, but I didn't hear a lot of applause. I think people tend to want to be inspired and feel good about the country, feel good about themselves. And they come in and they're just wet blankets on achievement. I've never seen anything like it. Lara, thanks for reminding me about that horrible bishop speech, which I had blotted out of my mind. Thanks a lot. I forgot about that.
You're welcome.
All right, and we have a little Instagram special with Lara, so you'll see that.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.